Thinking of exiting your business or taking on a private equity partner to help you grow faster? Biznexus has you covered. Tap into our network of thousands of best-fit investors, acquirers, and proven M&A advisors, and we'll help you begin the relationship confidentially on your terms, your timeline. Learn more at biznexus.com.
Disclaimer from the always present legal team. Podcast conversations don't necessarily reflect the views of Biznexus Incorporated. Everything you hear is informational news and updates from around the industry. We're not recommending any investments. We're not offering any investment advice. Be sure to do your own homework.
Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive with Biznexus. Today we're going to be talking about the lower middle market.
Ooh, exciting.
It is exciting. You know, these are businesses valued between $2 and $50 million. So a really interesting segment of the market.
Yeah, definitely an area where there's a lot of activity and a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely. And to guide us through this landscape, we have the Biznexus report, Lower Middle Market Deal Sourcing, a strategic guide for 2025, which was just published last month on November 27th.
A very timely report.
Very timely. So I'm excited to dive in and see what kind of insights we can glean from it.
Me too.
So let's jump right in. One of the first things that the report highlights is just the inherent difficulty of sourcing deals in the lower middle market.
Right.
Why is that? Why is it so tough to find these deals?
Well, I think one of the reasons is just the nature of the market itself. It's very fragmented. So you're not dealing with large public companies where information is readily available.
Right.
You're dealing with much smaller businesses that are often privately held.
Yeah. It's almost like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of these companies aren't actively looking to be acquired.
Right.
So the information isn't out there. You don't have a lot of publicly available financial statements. You don't have investor presentations.
So how do you find them then? How do you even begin to source these deals if they're not, putting themselves out there?
Right. Well, I think that's where the report really emphasizes the importance of a multifaceted approach.
Okay.
So it's not just about relying on traditional deal sourcing methods like databases and screening tools.
Right. Because those aren't necessarily going to pick up on these smaller companies.
Exactly. You have to go beyond that and really think about building relationships and leveraging your network.
Okay. So this idea of proprietary networks that the report talks about.
Exactly. So tapping into your network of accountants, lawyers, bankers, other intermediaries who have their finger on the pulse of the market.
And those are folks that are going to have relationships with these business owners.
Exactly. Because they're advising them on a regular basis.
So how does technology fit into this? Because the report also talks about leveraging technology.
Right. Well, I think technology can play a really important role in streamlining the deal sourcing process. And one example that the report highlights is the use of platforms like OmniSource.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that. What is OmniSource?
So OmniSource is a deal sourcing platform that aggregates data from a variety of sources.
Okay.
So it pulls together information from public and private databases to give you a more comprehensive picture of a potential target.
So it's like having a one-stop shop for all the information you need.
Exactly. It helps you cut through the noise and get to the insights that matter.
That sounds really powerful.
It is, and it can be a huge time saver.
But this doesn't replace the need for relationship building, right?
Not at all. I think technology can enhance those relationships, but it can't replace the human element.
Right. You still got to pick up the phone and talk to people.
Exactly. And the report actually quotes Bob Ferris, a veteran deal maker, who says, "We're finally seeing real price stability. Business owners are finally coming to terms with the new normal for M&A, and advisors can move forward on complex engagements."
So it sounds like there's some optimism in the market.
Definitely. And I think that creates a really interesting opportunity for deal makers who are willing to put in the work.
So stability doesn't necessarily make things easier, right?
No.
All are still challenges in this market.
Absolutely. In fact, the report highlights this growing trend, the shift from just deal sourcing to actually building what they call growth platforms.
Growth platforms, okay. What does that mean?
It's really interesting. It's moving away from that kind of mindset of just acquiring a business, maybe flipping it for a quick profit, to really thinking about how can we partner with these businesses for the long term.
Okay.
So finding businesses that have solid fundamentals and a clear vision for growth, but maybe they're just lacking the resources or the expertise to really take it to the next level.
So less transactional, more strategic partnership.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where a strategic investor can come in and provide not just the capital, but also the operational expertise, the industry connections, and really help that business reach its full potential.
So it's almost like you're taking, maybe a promising startup or a company that has, a great product or service, but maybe they haven't quite figured out, the financial systems and the management structure.
Right.
And you're coming in and providing that guidance and that support.
Exactly.
Okay. So with this shift towards growth platforms, how do the more traditional methods of deal sourcing fit into this new landscape?
Right. Well, I think they're still relevant, but they're definitely evolving. So we're seeing this convergence of technology and human relationships.
Okay.
Where, data insights are being used to inform outreach strategies, and AI is playing a growing role in identifying potential targets.
So speaking of AI, the report mentions how AI is being used to analyze seller sentiment on social media and use that to personalize outreach.
Yeah.
What does that look like in practice?
Yeah. So let's say you're looking to acquire a manufacturing business.
Okay.
You could use AI algorithms to scan, social media posts, articles from industry leaders and see who's expressing frustration with, rising material costs or supply chain disruptions.
Oh, interesting. So you're looking for patterns.
Exactly. And then armed with that knowledge, you can tailor your outreach to demonstrate that you understand their pain points. And that you can offer solutions. So maybe you have expertise in, optimizing supply chains or negotiating better rates with suppliers.
Right.
By using AI to glean those insights, you can position yourself as a valuable partner rather than just another buyer.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
It's not just sending out a generic email. It's really trying to understand their needs and tailor your message accordingly.
Exactly.
But with AI handling so much of the heavy lifting, does that mean the human touch becomes less important?
No, not at all. I think that's where, Adam Ray's quote from the report really resonates. But real deals close over dinner, not data.
Right. You still have to build those relationships.
Exactly. AI can help us identify the opportunities, personalize our approach. But it's those face-to-face interactions, those genuine connections that ultimately seal the deal.
So it's all about striking that balance, leveraging the power of AI, but never forgetting the importance of human connection. The report also talks about another interesting trend, which is this rise in regional opportunities. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so while the overall LMM market is experiencing stability, the Biznexus report highlights, specific regions within the U.S. that are seeing, particularly strong growth.
So it's not just about looking in the obvious places. It's about being willing to explore different markets.
Right, and uncover those pockets of opportunity.
Are there any specific industries or regions that are particularly attractive right now?
Well, the report mentions that the Southeast is a hotbed for manufacturing and logistics businesses.
Okay.
While the Midwest is seeing a surge in tech startups and healthcare companies. But of course, these are just a couple of examples. And it's crucial to do your due diligence and research, specific sectors and regions that align with your investment strategy.
Well, absolutely. And I think that highlights another key point from the report, which is this idea of staying informed and adapting your strategies as the market evolves.
Definitely. You hit the nail on the head. The LMM is a dynamic landscape, and those who are willing to embrace change and continuously learn will have a significant advantage.
So as we look ahead to 2025 and beyond, what are some of the key takeaways that our listeners can apply to their own deal sourcing efforts?
Well, if I'm listening and I'm in this space, I think the first thing is to really embrace technology.
Okay.
But not let it become a crutch.
Right.
So, leverage tools like OmniSource that we talked about to streamline your search, to reveal insights you might otherwise miss.
Yeah.
But remember that data is just a starting point.
Okay. So use tech to get smart, but then you got to get personal.
Exactly.
That's the second thing.
I think the second thing is to really shift your mindset from, hunting deals to building something bigger.
Right.
So think growth platform.
Okay.
Think about how can you partner with these businesses for the long term?
Yeah.
How can you add value beyond just capital?
Be more than money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the third action item for our listeners?
The third thing is to stay flexible and informed.
Okay.
The LMM is constantly changing.
Right.
So, keep tabs on emerging trends, keep tabs on new technologies, even regional shifts.
The landscape is always evolving.
Exactly. And the Biznexus report itself is a great example. It gives us a snapshot of the landscape right now.
Right.
but things will evolve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a really eye-opening conversation. I feel like we've gone from, the nitty-gritty of how to find these deals to really talking about how technology and a changing market are kind of reshaping the entire game.
Yeah.
If you had to leave our listener with one big takeaway, what would it be?
I would say be adaptable. The most successful deal makers in the LMM are not just good at finding companies. They're good at partnering. They're good at adding value.
Yeah.
And they're good at evolving alongside the market.
I love that.
No.
Be adaptable. So to recap our 3 action items for our listeners today. Number 1, leverage technology, but don't forget about that human connection.
Right.
Number 2, think long-term growth platforms, not just quick deals.
Yeah.
And number 3, stay adaptable and informed.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
The LMM is a dynamic space, and I think there are some very exciting times ahead for those who are ready to embrace the challenge.
I agree.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the world of LMM deal sourcing. Until next time, happy deal making.
Acquiring a business? Biznexus simplifies it. Access thousands of updated opportunities in our DIY marketplace or supercharge team sourcing with OmniSource, your all-in-one platform for on-market, off-market, and coming-soon deals. Scale smarter today. Learn more or book a demo at www.biznexus.com.